ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So here in Kaivalya Upanishad, we have seen Brahmaji explaining to Ashvalayana Rishi about three methods by which one can come to know the self. And those three are Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Davaihi. In the second mantra, that is what he said, that come to know this through Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana Yoga. Now Upanishad follows that method where the subtlest knowledge is given first, and the one who is a Uttamadhikari will immediately grasp it, realize it, discover it. One who is not yet ready for that, one has to still reflect upon it. So Upanishad will elaborate also. So we saw Shraddha, Bhakti, each of them by themselves, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, themselves capable of making us realize the truth. Other way to understand also is Shraddha, intellectual quality, Bhakti, emotional quality, and when both these come together, the head and the heart, then this special faculty of intuition is realized, is cultivated. Through that, the truth is realized. That is the Dhyana Yoga. Now, whether we know it or not, all of us are seeking immortality. We want to be there forever. Physically also, when we see, we don't want to die. Body may be, having disease, old age, death, disease, old age, all kinds of pain, limitations, but one doesn't want to die. In fact, one wants to even elongate the youth. One doesn't want that to die. So many stories you see in the Puranas where we find that many of the asuras, they have done tapasya, and the boon that they seek is immortality. Obviously, that which is born has to die, so there is no way that somebody can be immortal through the body. So they try to cook up some innovative ways of how nobody can destroy them. But there will always be some loophole, and Bhagwan uses that and ensures that they die. Now, what are the means through which we are seeking that? Permanency is what we seek, even in the world. Permanent happiness, permanent love, permanent address, permanent success. We want permanency. But we are seeking in the wrong place. And so in a temporary world, the wise people don't seek that which is permanent. The Kathopanishad says so beautifully, Dhruvam adhruveshu iha na prarthayante. That which is dhruvam, that which is eternal, that which is permanent, Adhruvam is this world. In this world, Adhruveshu, Iha, this here, na prarthayante, they don't seek. That is a impossible task. How it will be possible to get that which is permanent from that which is temporary? Continuously everything is changing. And so the wise one doesn't seek in the temporary what is permanent, the wise one turns the attention away. So, three means by which we generally seek this immortality, permanent happiness, supreme bliss are negated in the next mantra, that is the third mantra, and it is established how through intuition alone and how through renunciation alone can one attain this supreme reality. Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Davaihi explained all the three are means to realize the truth. One of them also is a means to realize the truth. Now, after saying that, the mantra says what will not help to realize the truth. So, don't engage in this, what is not going to help us to realize the truth. Withdraw from that and put the effort in the right direction. If we want to go from Mumbai to Pune, let us say, we can take the old Mumbai Pune High Road or we can take the expressway. But if one is going towards, instead of going to Mumbai to Pune, now one is driving in the opposite direction somewhere. How will one ever reach Pune? So important it is to understand that where is the effort to be put, which direction it has to be put. And so the Upanishad clarifies. Now let us see. This is a very famous mantra because many times, almost all the times, one chants this as a part of Sannyasa Suktam, also comes in the Mahanarayana Upanishad also. When Purna Kumbha is held to welcome a sannyasi, then this mantra is chanted. So why it is chanted, we will see as we go along and see the meaning. न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते तद्यतयो विशन्ति. So, na karmana, not by action, na prajaya, not by progeny, na dhanena, not by wealth. By none of these three, one can attain the state of immortality. Amritatvam anashuhu. Anashuhu is past tense, have attained. Tyage naike amritatvam anashuhu. Only through tyaga, renunciation, have they attained immortality. Who? Yatayaha, the great strivers of the past, seekers of the past. Where is this? Parenanakam, beyond the heavens, in your own heart. Nihitam guhayam. Vibhrajate, it shines. Yad yatayaha vishanti. They enter this and they have attained immortality. So now, this is a simple meaning that neither through work, nor through progeny, nor through wealth, this immortality is attained. This state is beyond heavens, in your own heart, self-effulgent, which these great seekers enter, and it is through renunciation alone that they have attained this state of immortality. That's the basic meaning. Now, very interesting is this mantra. Three things were said earlier: Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Davaihi. Three things are negated now. Na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena. So we try to attain immortality through action. That is the first thing that we do. Because our bodies are dynamic, our minds have desires. So we are engaging in action, and through that action, all the achievements, etc. So whatever we seek in the world, building a legacy, doing great things, making a difference to the society, you know, all those, many of these, through a lot of dynamism, action, from morning to evening, one is working very hard. To what extent that one even postpones the spiritual study, growth, one says this is not the right time, I will do think about this post retirement. Right now it is hard work that has to be done. No time for Bhagavan, no time for meditation, no time for, sadhana, no time for japa. Morning to evening one is running. Some people are dynamic in their sleep also. They can't sleep enough because the mind is racing so much. And nowadays people have so many young people, they come and ask me, Swamiji, I am overthinking. How to stop overthinking? There are various ways to stop to reduce that, but the point is how much restlessness is there, and that will push us to do karma. And one is doing all this for what? That basic purpose. Sometimes that is not clear. I am doing all this to attain happiness. But in the chase for it, I am forgetting that happiness. And that happiness is a state of mind which is peaceful, which is calm, which is quiet, which is relaxed, which is conflict free. That state of mind. And then, of course, as beyond that state of mind is the true nature, which is permanent happiness. But that basic purpose one does not know. So, through action alone, one wants. And that's why, first thing that the mantra says is na karmana. One will not get through karma at all. But think about it. You see, one of the reasons why this mantra is chanted is it is a wake up call that if you are not going to attain what you really want through karma, then rethink the place of karma in life. Our life is otherwise governed by action only. We are prepared from childhood for karma to become, whatever, some particular profession one takes and one position one should attain, some status one should attain, and then one is respected, and then people will talk good about you, and all that conditioning is there right from childhood. By itself, nothing wrong with karma. One should act. That Bhagavan Krishna very clearly says, one can't be without karma. Nahi kaschit kshanam api jatu tishtati akarma krit. Karyate hi avashak karma. One will helplessly act. But the choice is not whether to act or not. The choice is how to act. How to act in such a way that my purpose is fulfilled. Swamiji, my purpose is attaining money, my purpose is getting this position, my purpose is getting that promotion, getting that contract. That is secondary purpose. That's not the main purpose. The main purpose is I want to be happy. After getting all that, if I'm miserable, what is the point? And that's why na karmana. Through action, one will not attain immortality. Action, one may attain things in the finite world. But immortality can't be attained by action. Why? Because it is permanent. That state of immortality is a state of permanence. It is not something that is created. Through our effort, whatever I will create, it will get destroyed. So, what is created in time, how is it immortal? Because immortal means that which is ever present. And very interesting is what is ever present. Ever present is not You see, we define it as what was in the past, what is now, what will remain in future, but actually past and future don't exist. As a construct of human mind. What exists is only now. That which is right here and now, and that alone is that in this moment. There's nothing before that, nothing after that. One can't go into past or future. One can only imagine about past and future in the now. Technically, one can't go into past or future. It is dead or it is not yet born. It's gone or it's not yet come. So it is not there. Only now is there. So what is here and now, immediate, which is not created. See, we think time will move. Time doesn't move. Time is here only. There is only every moment, bus. There's a mind which is making us feel that yesterday was, today is, tomorrow will be. So there is a movement. That is all illusory. There is no movement. It's just here and now, bus. Nothing less, nothing more. And because we are not in that state fully, then our mind is what perceiving all this past, present, future, and this whole world. And then yesterday I was this many years old. Now today I celebrated this birthday. Now I am this many years old. The fact is only this much right now. Chronological time we want to create, we can create for the sake of functionality. But psychological time actually is not there. It only now is there. Past, future, not there. So that state of immortality is not something that is created in time. Whatever we do, action will be created in time. One gets the education, one gets a job, one gets some money, one does some startup, one gets married, one has children. So many things one goes through is all through karma. It creates something, and even as it creates, it is continuously changing. So, na karmana, that which is inert again, how it will be able to help us, how it will be that through that I will realize the truth, which is consciousness. He said, Raman Maharshi beautifully said, no, that karturajnaya pyapyat prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tad jadam. Karma is jada vastu. Karma doesn't know who you are. Karma doesn't know that what is the purpose with which the action is being done. Karma doesn't know what result it will generate. Nothing karma knows. It's just one inert action. How can inert action make me realize that which is consciousness? Then why are we doing even sadhana? If we are just repeating Nam Japa, suppose Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Many people talk like that, even J. Krishnamurti, etc. If you read, they will say, by mechanically repeating the thought, you will never realize the truth. You have to go break the boundaries of the thought. Are Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya is not like any other ordinary thought. The feeling behind it is, I'm surrendering to that Lord who is Shiva, who is consciousness. And in the Vedantic contemplation, when one is doing, one says, I am that consciousness. Again, one may say that is a thought, but it will break all other false notions. It will destroy all other false notions, and by itself it will also disappear. That is tyagena aikyamritatva manashuhu. The way to transcend is that. And it's not a mechanical thought. Japa is not a mechanical activity. It is done with alertness. That and all people don't understand, and then they say mechanical. How much Shankaracharya said beautifully in Bhari Govindam, pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam japya sameta samadhi vidhanam. All these five. Kuru avadhanam mahad avadhanam. With great alertness you do. Alertness and great alertness. Avadhanam mahad avadhanam. Full alertness, awareness, and bringing the bhav, the emotion, do that japa. It's not about quantity. It's about feeling. It's about engaging the thought, feeling, integration, all that. It will break the boundaries of all finite false identifications. One will realize the truth. So, karma, what type of karma we do? So, again, that karma did not lead to realization. That karma of puja, japa, sadhana, meditation, dhyan destroys the false identification. Tyaga only it helps us to do. It is not creating anything. Maximum one says it will create sattvic vasanas. The sattvic vasanas will bring us to satsang, will make the mind quiet, will help us to uh, engage steadily in contemplation. All that is also karma. But it is not creating anything new. It is destroying the false notions. So, na karmana, that we spoke also last time. So, I'm not elaborating much. Karma is jada by itself. Karma doesn't know the bhav. Karma doesn't know the karta. Karma has its own limitation. The result that karma will give is finite. It will perish. That result will further create sometimes that new vasanas, whether sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. That will bind. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. That cycle will continue. So instead of liberating, karma can be bondage. Kind of karma can bring bondage if not done with the right attitude. Karma can strengthen the doership. Again, not done with the right attitude. So the only use of karma is if I am actually doing karma yoga. Now see, many times what happens, we think karma yoga is one part of my life. I do social service, Swamiji. I go and serve once a week in some orphanage. I do some charity. I definitely do this, you know, uh, educating some children. I once a year on my birthday, I go and do some annadan. See, all that is great. Please let us do. But as a student of Vedanta, if I understand, there is no option for karma yoga. There is no option except karma yoga. If I want to come out of the cycle of karma, the only method is karma yoga is my attitude 24/7. Because any other type of karma I do, it will be prohibited karma or it will be kamya karma, desire prompted activity, that will bind only. That will create further karmic bondage, further cycle of birth and death. So karma yoga, there is no option. It's like breathing. If I want to live, I have to breathe. If I don't know how to breathe, gone. In water, so many times that happens. Life goes like this. Because breath is so little and that is required to keep afloat. And if one panics in that the breath is gone, one drowns. The body will be like a balloon as long as air is there. If the air is gone and one doesn't know how to swim and take the breath and all that, sink. There's no option. So for a student of Vedanta, we have to understand that Karma Yoga is my stable attitude. That whatever I'm doing it dedicating it to Bhagavan. That will purify the mind. With pure mind, we come to contemplate, and through contemplation, drop all false identification, come to know the truth. That is the only method. There is no other method. If any other type of karma I engage in, Nishiddha karma will produce papa. It will produce negative effects for me. Nishiddha karma means prohibited action. Kamya karma will produce more selfish desires, so more selfish vasanas, more births, etc. I will need. Nitya Naimitic karma, daily duty, obligatory duty. If these two I do with the attitude of dedication to Bhagavan, then I'm existing vasanas get exhausted, new vasanas don't get created, mind becomes quieter. Then contemplate and know the truth. Now that's the only way to live. No other method. So Karma Yoga is not optional. Karma Yoga cannot be sometime in a day. It can begin like that so that I get a taste of what it is to be selfless and how joyous it is to be selfless and how selfishness is shackling and binding and creating so much of tension, conflict, I can drop it. But I'm holding on to that. So here he says this karma has so many limitations. At the best, it can be a tool to purify the mind. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. For purifying the mind, karma has to be used. Now that's what one has to ask as a Vedantic student to oneself, that what karma I am doing is with what bhavana. Even the nitya naimitic karma can be done with the attitude of dedication and should be done with the attitude of dedication. I eat to do sadhana, I exercise as a part of sadhana, all that dedication to Bhagavan. I take bath so that the body is kept clean, so that I can worship the Lord with that purity at the body level, pranic level, mind level, intellect level. So bhav is this, whatever I am doing is meant for this, to serve Bhagavan 24/7. Nitya karma, naimitya karma also. Then my duties, the roles, responsibilities, the work, everything, with the clarity that this cannot by itself lead me to the Supreme, which means what? At some point in time, I have to learn to withdraw from this extrovertedness in terms of the desires, and I want this and I want that, and I want to travel here and go there and do this and do that, and learn to withdraw. This, if we have not trained ourselves, whole life will go in karma, and as we grow in old age, it will become very difficult. Why? Because body becomes older and older, desire becomes younger and younger, frustration to the peak. Which is why so many people want to enjoy and indulge and do more and more Rajasic activities, even after they have crossed, 70, 75. They say, I'm 75 years young. Can I attend a youth camp? Sorry, you cannot. Youth camp is a different purpose, a different energy, and many things are changing there. Today, even that youth camp we have to handle with so much of alertness, because the whole thing has changed so quickly, the whole mindset and the attitude and all that. So important it is to understand that why I should not be in a situation where the body is older. I have indulged with the body full life. I still want to go on indulging. How much? That's the utilitarian attitude, no? Maximum you squeeze out of it. Spiritual attitude also is maximum you squeeze out of it for sadhana, to quieten, to turn within. If even seva one is doing, Gurudev did so much of seva. He said, squeeze the last drop out of this body, treat it like a sugar cane. But the heart of that is there is absolute selflessness, wanting nothing for oneself, doing it for the society. That's the purest mind. Of course, his situation is different, realized being, so we don't compare ourselves only to him that way and do whatever he did, we do externally. That should not happen. We can derive inspiration from Gurudev's life that way, that he lived such selflessness. So karma can be done with this clarity that at a point in time I will have to withdraw and I should withdraw, which is what our Sanatan Dharma says, na? Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. 50 years of pravritti, the Dharma tells us, pravritti marg. Study for 25 years, work for 25 years, have family, children, society, duties, everything. Then another 25 years to slow down, Vanaprastha. Technically, go to the forest, live on simple, fruits and roots, and live in self-control, live in swadhyaya, study, meditation, all that. And when one has slowed down, then last 25 years are exclusive contemplation on the truth, nothing else. Come to realize the absolute. So 25 years of pravritti, 50 years of pravritti, 50 years of nivritti. That is 100 years of life. If this is clear to me that at a point I have to withdraw, While engaging in karma, I will see its limitation. That what is the limitation of this karma? How much effort I am putting and how much is the investment I am getting back. However great it may be, it is temporary. I am a seeker of immortality. Why should anything in the finite realm block my progress? Sometimes we are very happy with the finite only because we have forgotten the infinite. At some point, the wake up call comes, then one gets out of the delusion. Again, one comes back to track saying, what am I seeking? I am seeking that immortality. Where did I get attached? So, na karmana. Again and again, if we tell our mind, simple practical application of that is what? Every day, at least some time, we should be able to sit and quieten the mind, anchoring in the Lord, remembering Bhagwan, taking the name of the Lord, or do meditation on Atma, formless contemplation, whichever. But don't do something which is shunya, zero, blank, thoughtlessness. That doesn't lead anywhere. The truth is there is infinite consciousness, which is our nature. The truth is that nature of infinite consciousness is what Bhagwan is. Rest of it all is anyway mithya and maya from Vedantic standpoint. In that, where are we getting stuck with some thoughtlessness and zero and blank and shunya meditation and this and that? There is a time if we have understood this, then focus on Bhagwan. Few minutes at least in a day, that routine must be set. If sometime because of work, travel, etc., same time, same place, same duration is not possible, doesn't matter. But wherever one is, take out that time, spend. Let not the restlessness of doing karma make us ignore, procrastinate, postpone the upasana, the sadhana. And don't say that my work is my worship. Work becomes worship only when done with worshipful attitude to the divine. And that worshipful attitude is what we have to cultivate daily by sitting quietly, by learning to withdraw. That's a different sadhana. Engagement and withdrawal, two different aspects of sadhana. So many times we don't want to engage, we don't want to do sadhana, withdraw the mind, be quiet, do some japa, puja, dhyan, none of that we want to do. So we give excuse saying my work is my worship. And if my work is my worship, then how much is my worshipful attitude? How many times I remember the Lord through my work? Is my mind calm? When Bhagavan says samatvam yoga uchyate, am I able to be equanimous before the action, during the action, after the action? How much is my ability to accept the result as prasad of Bhagavan? All that one has to evaluate. Otherwise, it is just an excuse not to do karma, not to do upasana, not to do sadhana. So, na karmana, when it becomes clear, then one knows work has a means, work has a purpose. It's a means, it's not the goal. Today, work has become the goal. Just like we use any means, we go in a car, we get down from the car and go to the destination or not, or we keep sitting in the car. It may apply to flight or train or anything. Karma is only a means, it is not the goal. One should reevaluate what are my priorities. And even if I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it for the organization, for the company I'm working for the country, for this, any cause that I may be working for, that also should not become an excuse for not doing the sadhana. Why? Because it will start like that I am doing it for them. You know what will happen many times when there is peak level of work pressure and stress is very high. One will, if one is not anchored well, one has not done sadhana and one is not having the certain strength of mind, one will not be able to handle that stress and expectations and work pressure, and many unpredictable things happen. One is suddenly shocked. Oh, how did this happen? Situation changed. Many things can happen in that work. Then one will blame those very people. For you, I did all this. I could not meditate. I did not do this. I left this. I left that. And I did all this for you. And look at what you are doing to me. One will do blame game. One will feel like a victim. One will accuse the other. One will feel deprived. The fact is, I did not anchor properly. So my mind has not got a certain grip. Now I am giving excuse. And convenient it is to blame it on the other so that I feel good that I'm doing all this for family and look what family did to me and all that. Sometimes they have not done it. It is my mind's imagination. I can't handle pressure, so I'm putting it on them. So many times it happens like that. We expand our desires. It is our selfishness. We want to achieve something and feel good about it, but we say, I'm doing it for the organization, for the family, for the country, for this. But deep down, there is selfishness, and that selfishness only is making me upset. Because if there is detachment and I'm really doing it for the family, I'm doing my best. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, doesn't matter. I'm to giving my best. And that detachment comes when I'm sitting quietly for a few minutes. It depends. See, sometimes mind is very extroverted. Immediately, it will not be possible to sit for a long time. So our culture says from childhood, initiate the person into Gayatri mantra, let the person do Ishta mantra japa in small quantities. Start. Lowest is number 10. Just 10 times Gayatri mantra. Medium is 100. Best is 1000. The scripture says that. 10, 100,000. So it starts with 10, come up to 100. Then as one progresses, if one wants to do 1000, one can do 1000. Now, not necessary every day one has to do that. It depends on each one's attitude and bhav and preparation and purpose and all that. But this is what the scripture says, slowly, slowly one gets trained. So imagine from 6 years, one has got initiated into chanting. What is the restlessness of the mind at that time? What is that which will be at the teenage time? What will be after that in the youth, then in the middle age? If one observes, if one has done upasana steadily, one has something to anchor. When the mind is turbulent, one will hold on to that. Mantra will be is very powerful. One should not dismiss it as some ritualistic practice. It is very, very powerful anchoring method. And that if one has continued slowly over a period of time, restlessness will reduce. And that person will be able to do this. That one does karma with such clarity. One knows that this is meant for service. This is in dedication to Bhagwan, in dedication to people around me. I want nothing out of it. Why? Because I am already feeling full within. I am already feeling happy within, anchoring in the divine, anchoring in this clarity. Amritatvam is my true nature. And that's why study and service and sadhana, they all have to go together. So, na karmana, when it is said, one will not attain immortality through any amount of action. One should reflect, 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 and make this intellect convinced so that when the next time any desire comes up, one can discriminate and see whether this is even required and drop it at the desire level itself. If it is not going to lead me to immortality, then I need to do it in a limited way. No, I don't have to fulfill all desires. Each desire is going to create many more new desires. So if that understanding is there, I can drop it at thought level itself, desire level itself. I don't need this. Why? Because if I want to fulfill this desire, this many time, this many actions, or this much time, this much effort will go, it may make me sometimes compromise. If without compromising I am able to fulfill, and if it is a necessity, I will do it. So much clarity comes in life. One will be able to say no firmly. My teacher once told me that when we finished our Vedant course. He told me, protect your sadhana like a snake initially. Anyone comes near the snake, it will bite. Saying if anything comes to interfere with your specific sadhana of sitting quietly, otherwise the whole life day is full sadhana, only one is doing it with the bhav of karma yoga. But that specific sadhana of withdrawal and sitting quietly, he says, protect it like a snake. Don't allow anybody to come and disturb that. And that has been quite helpful because then one gets anchoring. So, na karmana, not through karma, one will attain immortality. At best, karma will help us when I do with the attitude of dedication to purify the mind. Then, through karma, we want immortality through all our actions, etc. Then, praja, na prajaya. So, if I am not able to achieve some things through my karma, I want to achieve it through my children. Through my children, I am living on. That's another way of physical immortality also. One is the glory that comes, satisfaction that comes that, oh, I could not become a doctor, my child has now become a doctor. So one is living one's own dreams through the child, which is actually very unfair. Child has come with his or her own baggage. Why enforce? But this is how human mind thinks. So the human mind wants to attain immortality through action, through achievement, and then through children. One propagates one's lineage. So our culture says yes, that lineage propagation happens at the duty of the grahasthi. But one must allow the child to act according to its own swadharma. So child here is anything through which I want to extend myself. It need not be only children. That praja word here has symbolic meaning also. That I write a book and my name spreads in the world. So I'm living on through my thoughts, through my ideas. So it can be any of that, through the writings, through songs, through so many other achievements, whatever I'm doing. The nameplate is put, this so and so has donated this much for this. Now the person has gone, but the name continues. So one wants, to live on. So progeny word here means all that, through which I extend myself beyond my physical body. And so, praja. Gurudev used to say that praja also means all those who depend on you. And dhana word indicates all those things on which I depend for my security, safety, my happiness. So neither through dependence nor through me depending on anybody will I attain immortality, however loving somebody may be. So relationships also. Praja also means that. So what can continue is only the finite name, finite achievements that can continue in the world. But immortality is not that state. That will also perish. Praja also means relationships. How much time and effort we spend in relationships. See, action is one. Through that, when we become extrovert, we forget the Lord. Same way with relationships. How much time goes in relationship with everybody, but what about my relationship with Bhagwan? What about my relationship with this? self, that who am I truly, that one doesn't know, or one is knowing also but is not putting enough time and effort for it. So relationship also has its own limitations. And yes, one should do the duties in it, one should be kind, loving, compassionate, understanding. When you express love, one of the best ways to express is when you spend quality time, be there for that person. All that is no doubt great, required. But again, what will that lead to? If it is with the right attitude I'm engaging, it can be purifying. If not, it is going to bind. Emotional attachments one will form. That will cause more and more sorrow. And strange part is, in spite of so many people being there, so much technology being there, so many options of entertainment being there, still loneliness is at a high. Depression is very high. I don't want to engage with people. Many people don't want to marry because today people have become many times very individualistic. They feel that ये सब बहुत झंझट है, I will live alone only. अरे, the issue is not about the person out there. The issue is my selfishness. One doesn't want commitment. One doesn't want to deal with adjustments. One becomes inflexible, selfishness. The purpose of a relationship is to help me to break out of this. Now I'm only going into my shell because I don't want anybody to know me who as I am, to know my flaws and my strengths, and to know everything about me. And I don't want to adjust. I don't want to be, giving. Then I want, if I'm giving in a certain way, return. If that is not happening again, I don't want to give. So many challenges. So I feel no, I better I'm alone only. That is not going to spiritually help me to evolve. If I don't know how to break out of my ego, I don't know how to adjust, if I don't want to be detached, if I don't want to be giving, then that is going to break me. So relationship also has its own purpose. Like karma is helpful in the right attitude when it is done, relationship also. But again, the point here is through relationships one has lost oneself. And one thing one will live on through the people. One is spending full time only in relationships and talking to this person and maintaining this relationship and doing that vyavahar and going for that function. Sadhana, if it is gone, how will one attain the truth? So, na karmana, na prajaya. Before I strengthen, do my duties towards anyone else in all other relationships, my primary duty is towards Bhagavan. Why? Because everybody, that's why they are called relatives. They are not called absolutes. Because they are relative only, they will come and go. For them, we are relative. We will come and go. But who is there with us all the time is Bhagavan. He is consciousness. What did I do to strengthen that relationship? If I have done that, then again, relationship will help. Because then I am a seeker who is also a mother, who is also a daughter, who is also a spouse, who is also a sibling, who is also a friend, who also has an employee, employer, whatever it is. But deep down, I am a seeker. I am a devotee. So I am a devoted mother, a devoted spouse, a devoted sibling, a devoted father, a devoted friend. But my primary identity is I am a devotee or I am a seeker. Then relationship will also help, because then I will use relationship as a means of sadhana. Otherwise, it will be bondage. Attachment, expectation, insistence, resistance, all that will come into play. So, na karmana, na prajaya, neither through any amount of karma nor through any amount of praja, any amount of relationship, no matter how much I invest in it. Swamiji, what about relationship with the Guru? Even there, the Guru can give the knowledge, and then the Guru also cuts. If there is a attachment, the Guru will ensure that there is detachment. No bondage and attachment can be encouraged. If there is some guru who is encouraging bondage and attachment, maybe temporarily to make you shift away from everything else to get attached, the guru may allow. But if that guru continues that, then that means the guru also is bound. The intelligent guru and the realized master will ensure that the disciple becomes detached, independent. That's why that person is a guru. Otherwise, that person is equal to all, just like all of us, attached, bound. Then why to go to that person? They should make us a swami, meaning not literally a swami in the sense of renunciate and orange clothes, but master of oneself, free, independent. Anyway, we are dependent and helpless. What is the point in depending on someone else? So the guru makes us independent. So in relationship, that's what it is. Na karmana, na prajaya. So these are two means through which one wants to attain immortality. Through work, achievements, through progeny, by extending oneself. Then na dhanena, not by any amount of wealth. How much ever wealth one may accumulate, one may become whatever, richest man or the most powerful man or anything. See, again, in the world, it has its own importance, relevance, one can do a lot with it, etc. But immortality is what we are talking about. All that wealth remains here, all that achievement remains here. I am here for a short while. Once I depart from here, what happens to all that? Who knows? And maximum, what will happen? As per karma, it will again come back to me in whichever janma I am, and whenever appropriate it will come back to me. So then, what is the purpose? If for dhana, I am going to compromise with some values or I am going to land up doing negative karma, I am going to carry all that burden with me. Dhan will remain here. But the mind is what I'm going to carry. So no amount of wealth, even if it is attained in a dharmic way, will help me in the path of immortality. The Upanishad says very clearly, na vittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. Through vitta, through wealth, one cannot be satisfied. One has some utility value, wealth has. Beyond that, nothing. Can wealth buy me one moment extra when my karma is over? It cannot. Quality of life it may be able to do because of whatever, hospital and medicine and food and other things, that it can purchase a few things. But if my karma is not there, I will not be able to even have that quality of life, even with all the wealth. So wealth has again its significance, but through that immortality can't be attained. One can't buy it. Gurudev used to say that you can't smuggle yourself into that state. So there's no way that one can buy immortality or attain anything or give some bribe and do some corruption. And people think that, oh, I will go to this temple and I will offer this many coconuts or this much har of gold to Bhagwan, then my pap will be destroyed. Nothing like that will happen. Karma will bring its karma phala. And this offering will be sattvic karma, it will bring some punya karma. But there's no net banking happening. That 100 punya and 60 papa. So net balance is only 40 punya. No, it is 160. The result will come for all 160. If that is understood very clearly, na dhanena, how much will I attain through wealth? What will I attain? Immortality not possible. So through the adharmic means, so definitely one should not attain wealth. Even the wealth which I attain through dharmic means, the true wealth is devotion, is contemplation, is sattvic mind, pure mind. That is the true wealth. And how much people fight for that wealth only, kill each other and destroy each other. How many children have killed their own parents? How many parents have destroyed their children? People today are not wanting to have children because of that wealth. It's very costly to bring up a child. so no need of children. And only Hindus will say that. Others are not saying. You think about that. So where is what is the attitude towards wealth? By collecting maximum, I want to become immortal. How it is possible? How many rich people's name we will even remember in the history of last 500 years? Think about it. I want to be the richest man. For some time, I will be known. Maybe for a little longer time, I will be known. Beyond that, what? For that, if I am again compromising, I am forgetting the Lord. What am I doing? Artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukhalesha satyam. There is not even an iota of happiness in that. On the other hand, simplest of people are very happy. Again, I am not condemning wealth. One can be happy with wealth, one can be miserable without it, and all possibilities are there. One can be very happy without it also, and one can be still miserable with wealth. Either ways, it is possible. All combinations are possible. Which is what goes to say that it is our mind that is most important. Yajnavalkya Rishi had two wives. And this Yajnavalkya Rishi, when he decided that he wants to renounce the world, he divided his property between his two wives, Maitreyi, Katyayani. And Maitreyi asked, will this lead me to immortality? He says, na vityena tarpaniya manusya. This will not lead you to immortality. She says, then I don't need this. She gave away her share also to Katyayani. She went with Yajnavalkya Rishi, both contemplated, meditated, realized the truth. Yajnavalkya Rishi became the guru in that context, gave her the knowledge, contemplated. Now that's the point. That it has a value at a certain level in life, certain stage in life. After some time, it has no other uh, deeper purpose. To acquire that, I may have put some hard work, I have done some duties, I have brought up the family, all that fantastic. But if the notion is through that I will get immortality, one will not. So, not through wealth, not through actions, not through progeny, na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena. Then what will help us? What is the means? Tyage naike. Only through tyaga. Swamiji, earlier three things were said. Bhakti, Shraddha, Dhyana, Yoga. Now say only Tyaga. Is it not contradictory? Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Davaihi. And now say only Tyaga will lead. So this word Tyage Naike has two meanings. So Tyagena Eke. Through renunciation alone. That is one meaning. The word Eke can also mean rare individual, meaning one person. Eka. Tyagena Eke. So, AK there can indicate some rare individual who is able to renounce will know the truth. It is not that everybody in mass this will be available. See, some point or time everybody will realize, no doubt, but it is not as a mass movement. Gurudev used to say this, no, it is not a revolution, but it is evolution. It is slow and it takes time. It is not going to happen suddenly, everybody is enlightened. People ask that question, very funny. They ask the theoretical question. Swamiji, what will happen to the world if everybody realizes? First of all, that is not going to happen. It's like saying, what will happen if everybody graduates at the same time? All schools will be empty. Arey bhai, it is not going to happen, first of all. Because people are at different levels of evolution. So it's not going to be everybody will realize one shot. Second, if at all everybody realizes one shot, world will be such a beautiful place to live. Because people are so genuine, selfless, they are not insecure, they are anchored in themselves, they are enlightened, they are not working, for happiness, they are working out of happiness. So brilliant world it will be. So what is the problem? Because their intention sometimes is, why, if everybody realizes the truth, then there will be difficulties in the world. So let some people realize, I'm going to continue where I am because I want to enjoy in the world. I don't want to strive for realization. So sometimes I ask that theoretical question. If everybody is enlightened, then what to do? So I'm not enlightening myself for the sake of the world, to protect the world. It's not going to happen like that. So when you say Tyagena Eke, one person, meaning rare individual comes to realize, because attachment, one is not able to drop to small things. A coffee, everyday morning coffee, one can't drop. How will I drop the ego? So Tyage Naike. So now coming to this. So that Tyage Naike means this. Now three things were said earlier and only one thing is said here now, that only through this one will get. Because all those three also are actually Tyaga only in another form. Bhakti is also Tyaga. When I lose my ego completely in the love of the Lord, it is Tyaga only. Shraddha is also Tyaga. The strongest of faith I have in the existence of God, in the Guru, in the scripture, that is Tyaga of all the wrong notions that I have. And Shraddhavan Labhate Jnanam is said. And here it is said Tyagat, Tyage Naike Amritatvam. So Jnanam and Amritatvam is same. Shraddha and Tyaga is same. So Shraddha also is Tyag only. Bhakti also is Tyag. And Dhyana Yoga to 100% it is Tyag. Detached from the false, attached to the truth, that is only Dhyan. So the fact is, it is not three. Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga. The essence of all is only one. Tyage Naike. In the past, people have attained. So it's not even we are guinea pigs by experiment is being done on us. No, in the past, people have attained immortality through Tyaga alone. Drop, drop, drop. How interesting is this? The entire school education teaches us to acquire. Nothing wrong with by itself acquiring, but we should also know to let go. If any individual knows these two, will be successful in life itself. Other things, though, one will anyway get in the material world, but life itself will become successful if I learn to let go. How many times we are stuck because we don't know to let go? Somebody told me something now that is ruminating in my head. I can't let go. Some failure happened. Now I'm blaming myself, victimizing myself. I can't let go. Somebody didn't do something. I'm getting angry. Can't let go. I'm giving small examples. Here is the deepest letting go of attachments, letting go of wandering, letting go of selfishness, letting go of ignorance, tyaga, false identification. The deepest is I let go of that false identification. So letting go has to be taught, though it is more easy, it appears more difficult. Now think about it. Suppose I have to hold this. If I go on holding this will require more effort, no? Dropping is so easy. But the dropping only we are not taught, because the clinging and holding is so tight. We feel that if I drop this, no, 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 no. If I let go of anger, people will take me for a ride. If I forgive somebody, they'll hurt me again. You know, so we don't let go. If I drop my regrets, I will repeat the mistake again. I will not learn from it. So one holds on to regret. Same way, if I let go of false identification with BMI, then I don't know who am I. That's why study and all that is required. And look at the lives of saints, reflect, do seva, see the joy of selflessness. If I do all that, slowly, slowly one will let go. There's so much of joy in letting go. We have equated happiness with acquiring and sacrifice and sorrow with letting go. That has to change exactly. Our culture says the ulta. Tyagat shantihi anantaram. Through tyaga, one will get peace instantly, and that peace only is happiness. You know, Gurudev used to dramatize this because it comes in 12th chapter. So I'm not going to dramatize it and all that, but he'll give one full elaborate explanation of how one has slept and then one has woken up and now one has, one needs to go to use a restroom and now somebody is there inside that restroom and you are getting disturbed because Arey bhai, I really need to go urgently. Now this person is not coming out, and how much time this person is taking, and one is irritated, one is pacing up and down, somehow controlling, and finally this man somehow comes out of that thing. One rushes inside and sits on the pot. Tyaga Shanti Anantaram. Gurudev used to dramatize it so elaborately and humorously that one will feel, literally one will feel, yes, I need to go to the restroom right now. Full dramatization, a master in that. And then the way in which he will say, no, you sit on the pot and Tyaga Shanti Anantaram. Instant. By holding on, one doesn't get peace. That equation has to change. Tyagat Shanti Anantaram. Ishavasya Upanishad also says, Tena Tyaktena Bundita. You renounce and you rejoice. Here we think aggrandize and rejoice, acquire and rejoice. Artham anartham bhave nityam. Exact ulta. The more one has, the more one has to protect it, and yoga and kshema, one will be bothered about that only. One forget Bhagwan. Bhagwan, even though he gives the assurance, yoga kshema vaham yaham, I will take care of your yoga and kshema. Don't worry. No, we are still clinging. So we have to learn to let go. Let go, let go, let go. The scripture is beautiful. And that can happen in stages also. First, we have to learn to let go. Swamiji, I learned to let go. What? I let go of spiritual practice, I let go of sadhana, I let go of satsang. I am very good at letting go, no problem. Now, that's the point. It's not that we don't know how to let go. We know, but we are not applying it in the right place. So first one has to let go of what? Tamas one has to let go. Laziness, lethargy, procrastination, carelessness, indulgence, uncontrolled indulgence, all that one has to let go. So tyage naiki amritatva manashuhu means that let go first of that. Then slowly come to rajasic level. So let go of selfishness, insistence, attachment. What are my attachments? Where am I insisting? What I want to be like this only, without which I am not happy. Again, all this is psychological. Functionally, one may insist on certain qualities, certain things. That's a different matter. This is for my happiness, my self-esteem. Now I'm insisting this person should behave like this person should talk like this, or this should happen in my life. All that one has to let go. Prasada Buddhi will help us to let go. So from tamas to rajas, I have to come. So laziness, lethargy, procrastination, indulgence, all that will go by having a goal. Holding on to the higher, we let go of the lower. That's the simple principle. And tamas is one of the biggest enemies of a spiritual seeker's life. One justifies also tamas in so many ways, because tamas is such that when it comes into our life, when it is there in our life, we sometimes don't even realize that I am in tamas. Tamas makes us so ignorant that I don't know only I am in tamas. So much one wallows in self-pity, condemning oneself, criticizing oneself, negative self-talk, and it will become a habit. depression became a habit. Now one doesn't even know I'm in depression. Sometimes it is a fact that one doesn't know. Some people nowadays they have come out, even some celebrities and all that, saying that I didn't know I was in depression. So now there are ways and means to identify signs, symptoms, all that. So, oh, if I'm going through this, that means there is some, mental health challenge I'm having. So all that is coming out now. But tamas is like that, where one doesn't even know that one is in tamas. So to pull out oneself out of that, one has to hold on to something higher. So hold on to this activity, dynamism, goal, ambition, personal success. It has its place. Spirituality doesn't condemn it. It says only in the higher levels you drop these if one wants to rise higher. So when he says tyage naike amritatva manashu, alasya, jadatva, nidra, nidra in the sense not sleep, but this oversleeping, all this one has to drop. Then one has to drop what? Nishiddha karma one has to drop. Prohibited activity, drop it. What is not good for my evolution, not good for my body, not good for my emotional state, not good for her society, family, harmony. And so many things are there like that which we know, but we are not dropping, we are normalizing it. Gambling, betting, smoking, drinking, non vegetarian, gutka, tambaku, so much is all harmful, hurtful. But one is still clinging. Addiction of white sugar. How much white sugar is there in some of the things? In limited quantity, etc., is still understandable, but so much in certain drinks and all that. Addiction, it forms such terrible addictions. So one has to let go. So Nishiddha karma, what is hurtful, harmful, one should let go that. Then slowly transform that kamya karma into nishkama karma. Selfishness, slowly transform. Let go of selfishness, becoming more selfless, generous, giving, forgiving, kind, compassionate. So steps are there. How we learn to let go. Suddenly everything can't be let go. One has to rise in that. So this kamya karma, even that duty what I am doing, which is the vihita karma or my nitya naimiti karma, even in those I say I am doing it for Bhagwan, I am not the karta, Bhagwan is the karta. So kartritva bhav goes in the kartavya karma also. When step by step like this I have learned to let go, then in nididhyasana I can say I am not the body, mind, intellect, mano, buddhi, hankara, chittani, naham, nacha shrota, jihve, nacha ghrana, netre, nacha vyoma, bhumir, na tejo, na vayu, chidananda rupa, shivoham, shivoham. So these are steps and one should evolve. Our scripture gives beautiful scheme. There is no frustration at all if one goes by this properly. So, tyage naike. This is the tyaga one has to do. Tyaga is of the false identification at the highest level. Otherwise, at different levels, tyaga of tamas, tyaga of selfishness, tyaga of kartritva bhav. So that is tamasic, rajasic, sattvic. And then beyond sattva, when I want to go, drop the sattva also. That is, drop the false identification that I am this jiva, I am this ahankar, I am this body. All that has to drop. And through this alone, tyage naike amritatva manashuhu, they have attained immortality. So first line we have done today. Second line is remaining. We take up in our next class. Now again, there's going to be a break. Next week we have this Balvihar family camp, and week after that I am not here. So 15th is what we will continue. June 15th will be the next session. Any questions for today? Can we get the future dates for satsang? I've already put on the group. I don't know if you are not there on the group, you please join the Kaivalya Upanishad group, because I've already put no the June dates. I put 15, 22, 29. Those are the dates for June, and we will keep sharing more as we go along. Even if you are working with the attitude of karma yoga for a larger good, sometimes the complexity of the situation is such that it brings stress so much so that we feel like quitting. What do we do at that point in time? Yes, it happens. Sometimes people are less, work is more. Many situations can be there like that. And sometimes people are there, but they don't have the necessary skills. So there are two different aspects to this. One aspect is my psychological state of mind, that I have to tell myself again and again, what is the purpose? Why am I here? I am here to serve. I am here to be purifying my mind. So, what is in my capacity that I will do? Then I keep myself inspired. Otherwise, the situation may be overwhelming, then I will get disturbed because I want to correct everything. That may or may not be possible. Because of that, if my inspiration is going to ooze out, then what is the choice that I have? I can't go back to selfish karma because that is going to bind. I can't be without karma. So if I tell myself the only way for me is I have to do seva selflessly, that clarity first I must have. That is one part. So that I safeguard my inspiration and my motivation, and which is where go back to Bhagwan, go back to devotion, go back to, if you are doing it, dedicating it for a larger purpose, for the common good. Remind yourself of the purpose again and again. That all this hard work and struggle is finally for this is the larger good. And think of also the impact that that work has created in the past also. That how this work has inspired, how it transforms people. Though it is hard work, difficult work, but when you see finally the good happening, the smiles on the faces of people, then how does one feel? So if one reminds oneself of all that, that one will be able to preserve that inspiration. Then the second part is, in the situation out there, what is it that can be done? Can I train some people? Can I skill them? Can I increase the staff? Can I ensure that some systems are put in place, some things are made better, some expert guidance is taken, whatever can be done outside. And also understand possibly that this will take certain time. So this will happen in first phase, second phase, third phase. The overall system can be set by such and such time. So then I'm objectively dealing with it, situation externally, what can be done for it, and subjectively I keep my inspiration going. So that's what I feel can be done, because quitting is not a choice, honestly. For a spiritual seeker, maybe quitting in that place is a possibility if that is so worse that it is just not possible to change or not possible to remain anchored and inspired in that place. Quitting in that place is the last option, that is a possibility. But again, I have to find some other solution, some other method of doing seva. All right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.